the most common areas or well-known areas deliberately, and that is politics. If you look at Caribbean politics, the most successful politicians are those who have attained a high level of academic qualifications and can relate to the grassroots movement. And we could start from as far south, Trinidad, Eric Williams. We could look at Keith Mitchell and Maurice Bishop from Grenada, and many people are not aware that Keith Mitchell has a doctorate in mathematics or subject close to that.
It's true, very true.
You could look at in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Ralph Gonzalez, go across to Lucia, George Odlum, Compton, go to Dominica, Roosevelt Skerritt, go up to Antigua, you have Timbuktu, and you have the Birds. You go across to Jamaica, you have Manly.
But, you know, I know you're saying something like that, but I want to stop you, and I wanted to touch what Christal was touching on there. You are correct, but I want you to flip the coin a little bit, you know, in the sense that, let me use an example. It is said that if you smoke cigarettes, it can give you certain diseases, cancer, heart disease, and so forth. But not everybody who smokes develops cancer and heart disease. So therefore, if you start off with saying, oh, you know what? Not everybody who has cancer, you know, smokes and so forth, gets cancer and heart disease. It could come across, it's okay to smoke. And so in the same way that we're talking about degrees, that there are some people with degrees who are not practical, who really can't apply it properly. I want to put to you, there are a lot of people with degrees who can. And you have touched on a very you've touched on a very important subject, that the successful politicians and so forth, you've gone through the list. But I want to bring you to the opposition members. They weren't people who were not highly educated or so. It's just a lot of other factors. I don't think that they were successful strictly based on their education. I think there were lots of other socially, economic, and other factors. And the opposition people just really didn't have, because some of these people were in opposition for quite some time. Ralph Gonzalez was in opposition for some time, you know, and so eventually they found themselves maybe in government. But throughout the world, I think there are people who, if you flip the coin, who are poorly educated or may not have a degree, who do well. And there are people who are highly educated who don't do as well and who do well. And I'm coming back to Christal.
Yeah, but what I was going to conclude.
Yes, go on. Yeah.
And I will not say you jumped the gun.
Okay, yes.
But there were two other issues I was going to bring in. One both you alluded to. One is Dr. Gonzalez being in opposition for a few years. But if you go to and I'm using this as an example to show you where one uses the academic achievements properly in pursuit of various objectives. If you go to Parliament office and you check the history of parliamentarians coming in to do research, utilize Hansard records, Dr. Gonzalez's name would be repeated as the one who was literally, one could say, to use our phrase, like he was sleeping there, doing research. Now, in terms of politicians not having an education and being very popular, One who readily comes, there was a politician in V for North Indonesia. He didn't have according to information, he didn't even have a primary school education. But yet, you couldn't beat him. It would be useless trying to go up against him, whether his brother, his sister, who was challenging him. He retired undefeated. Another politician, well, you would remember him, was the Busquets brothers. And according to history, they were not that well educated, but they were able to relate to the people and were very popular. And one of the reasons for that, and I have spoken to people whenever I go to Trinidad or Grenada, and you speak to people, and they tell you the way the politicians relate to them, the way a politician would sit and listen to them, or help them solve a problem. Sometimes it's not that the politician would give them money, but the way the politician would relate to them. And certain little things done means a lot to people. And we in our society, I think you all did raise that, where so much emphasis is placed on academic achievement. And many of those people who go out to study, when they come back, they lack the practical experience. But they are of the mindset that because they went to university and they have a doctorate, they have a PhD, they have masters, that everyone else should listen to them. And no, I am telling you, there is a particular government department here with that situation. I'm not going to call it.
Yeah, okay, all right.
Yes.
Anyway.
And as a result, you see, because I'm not saying it is wrong for someone to educate themselves to the highest level possible. I am not saying it's wrong. But in doing so, you should not divorce yourself from, quote unquote, your grassroots. You should not lose that connection with the common man, because they still have a lot to teach you who have a master's. They still have a lot to teach you who have a doctorate, because there are many practical things those people do. Look,
right. Before you go on to the next point,
sorry?
Before you go on to the next point, we have a sponsored segment at 8:30, and we had to play some ads before that. So I'm going to have to ask you to wrap up, please. And if you can call back after that, then that's fine.
No problem.
All right.
But very, very interesting, and a good thing you have a doctor in the studio, but you're holding your own against him, Krista.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. All right. Take care. All right. So we're going to take a break at this time, run some commercials. When we come back, we have a few minutes with Courts and Vincent Limited. So keep it locked.
St. Vincent and the Grenadines. It's a whole new world out there. Reaching new customers and getting products faster. That's what it's all about. Ocean freight rates are skyrocketing, so don't pay more for slower service. It's time to switch to faster, more reliable air cargo service with SkyMax Cargo. Up to 3 flights weekly to and from the USA, Puerto Rico, and the Caribbean islands. Providing excellent import, export, and e-commerce solutions to put you ahead of the competition. For special low rates on small packages and air cargo, contact SkyMax today. 784-456-5400. Local agents SwiftPack Interprime Cargo. Call 784-456-5400 to book your shipments today.
Whatever you are celebrating, birthdays, anniversaries, engagements, retirement, or just celebrating life, the place to be is at Basil's Bar Kingston. Established for over 38 years, we are open breakfast, lunch, and dinner with an exquisite ambiance. We have a set menu and 3 a la carte menus to choose from, and we are flexible to requests. We go above and beyond to serve you. Basil's Bar Kings is more than just a meal, it's an adventure. Call for reservations at 457-2713.
Boy, that's where you getting crashing on. Works real good, boy.
Now brakes up, my tires good too.
Tires? Where you get them tires, boy?
Out by Caribbean Tire Plus, man. Cartersville. Can't miss it. Look for the orange container on them. Plenty parking space and open days a week all thing, man. Monday to Saturday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. And on Sundays, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Call them today. Caribbean Tire Plus, 784-442-4786 or email ctiresplus@gmail.com.
That's for animals. Strong, healthy, and delivering yields you love. That didn't just happen. It began with you feeling only the best. East Caribbean Feeds. Rest assured, we only produce your feeds with premium ingredients, no hormones, no animal byproducts, just everything your animal needs for maximum nutrition, because your animals deserve only the best. East Caribbean Feeds from Maximum Nutrition.
Are you into the agricultural industry? Do you want the funds to grow your business? Quartz Ready Cash Small Business Loans is launching the $20 million agricultural fund. All you need to apply is your ID, proof of address, and 2 references, and you will receive funding to get the equipment, tools, products, staffing, and services to grow your business. Plus, you pay nothing down. Get flexible payment terms, fast approval, and convenient hassle-free service. Don't hesitate. Apply today at www.readyfinancecaribbean.com or call 493-3840. Quartz Ready Cash Small Business Loans. Every day, we help businesses succeed.
We FM, now on the World Wide Web. Log on to SVJ's first online radio station, www.999wefm.com.
Hello. Good morning. It's time. Good morning. Welcome.
Hi, good morning. How are you doing?
I am doing wonderful this morning.
Wonderful. I'm doing great.
Awesome. All right, for the listeners' benefit, Quartz Ready Cash is on the inside with us. How are you? Welcome.
Yes, please. Okay, so lots of exciting things happening. So now, if you take a cash loan of $3,000 or more, you get a chance to come in and spin wheel multiple prizes, such as a 15% off voucher, a grocery voucher, a Lovell foot service voucher. You can be entered into a grand prize draw to win a staycation for 2 at Beachcombers. And also, if you take any loan of up to $10,000, you get entered into a draw where you can win your entire loan. So we'll clear off your loan for you.
Wow.
So if you come in, yes, please, if you come in and you take a loan, you get basically the chance to win. We're giving you cash to come in and take a loan if you win. And all you'll need is your picture ID, proof of income in the form of a job letter and salary slip, a recent job letter and salary slip, proof of address in the form of a recent utility bill or bank statement.
Okay, awesome. So in terms of location, contact, so what do we need to do if we're interested?
Okay, so we're located opposite the post office in Kingston, and we're open Mondays to Fridays, 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. and on Saturdays from 8 a.m. until 12 p.m. Or you can give us a call at 456-1325 extensions 2120 through 2124.
All right, website?
Okay, so our website is readyfinancecaribbean.com. Or you can check us out on any of our social media pages on Instagram, Facebook.
All right, awesome. And you said where you are located already in Kingstown?
Yes, it's opposite the Kingston Post Office.
Okay.
And also for our farmers.
Go ahead.
Also for our farmers and fisher folk, We also have our agricultural fund where you get the chance to get your piece of a $20 million US fund that's being spread across the OECS. You can take up to $27,000, and all you would need is the business needs to have a fixed location. You would need to present your purchases or sales for the last 3 months, a 6-month bank statement, and you would need to be between the ages of 21 and 55 years old.
Okay, lovely, lovely, lovely. So that's farming, and then basically I could purchase anything I want. Is there a minimum requirement for the amount of money I can borrow?
No, there is no minimum. Once you're there is no minimum, but the maximum is $27,000 for those because this is in the form of a small business loan. So this is for our farmers and fisher folk.
All right, lovely, lovely, lovely. Now, some more information that can be shared concerning your product suite. Now, I know that there's an office opposite the post office on Halifax Street, but can persons go to the main branch on Bay Street and have access to the same products?
Yes, they can. Or our CSRs are there ready and willing to assist you.
Okay, is it possible to apply online?
No, not at this time. You can contact us and speak and give us your information, but then you would need to bring in your original documents.
Okay, no problem. And we can call you at 457, with the number again.
456-1325, extensions 2120 through 2124.
All right, I was a little close. I've got the 4-5 locked. All right. Anything else that you'd like to share with listeners, maybe to encourage them to come down and take advantage?
Well, the process is hassle-free. We don't need you to have any sort of collateral. You just basically bring in your documents. That's, once again, the recent job letter and salary slip, the proof of address in the form of a recent utility bill or bank statement, and your piece of fixed ID if you're a returning customer, or 2 pieces if you're a new customer. It's a totally hassle-free process. We're ready when you are. So you just come in, and we promise a 24-hour turnaround.
All right. Awesome. Thank you so much for taking the time out to share such wonderful news with us this morning. I want to wish you guys a wonderful day.
Okay. Thank you so much for having us. Have a great day.
All right. Same to you. Thanks. All right. And that was Quartz Ready Cash. I know that Carnival is around the corner as well. And, we want to enjoy the season. You can head on to Quartz Ready Cash and take advantage of their offers. All right. Now, let me just remove this from the live. We're live on Facebook and YouTube at WFM99 SVG. You can hop over and take a look right there if you're going to leave your vehicle right about now. All right, so let's continue, Doc.
Yes.
Okay, so it's 8:37. We're going to take you up until 9 o'clock. With the commentary. We're going to take 2 minutes to just wrap up on this topic here. Some people are educated, but not academically. And some fools are academically educated. I'm just reading.
I know. And let me say, with those things, it's someone says 50%, one, 50% the other. I want to say that the average individual who is educated, whether it is a degree or they have obtained practical licensed certificates in their field of operation, not necessarily a degree, in, let's say, plumbing, air conditioning, electrician, and so forth, and at the community college and other ways, people are able to get those things. They are better than if they did not, because they will be able to see and do things where the new technology is coming in. And I think that it's important that we recognize this. The persons who aren't applying their academic knowledge well are fewer than those who are applying it. That's what I want to say.
Okay. I think the best thing is to have a merger between the old techniques, especially if you're talking about trade, the old techniques and the new technology. Because sometimes the new technology, while it might be more advanced, it might be quicker, it might fail you at some point. But if you don't have that fundamental background knowledge in a certain skill, then you're kind of like fish out of water at some point if it fills you. So you're better off, you're in the best position if you know both ways. But another point, especially in terms of skills, and you know, I'm a person for skills, right? You cannot go wrong with learning a skill. Cannot. Now, in terms of skills, why I think it is important to get a certificate at least, while you may know a thing or two, there is a possibility for you, if you have learned already, to get prior learning. I'm going to get the term right. Prior learning development. Now I can't remember the exact name, but it's a prior learning certificate that basically says you have been doing this for X amount of years. You are qualified because you know all of these things. It helps in getting a certificate, point blank, because especially as we're talking about CSME, from time to time, you can travel to other Caribbean countries. You can travel to other countries and they could see that you are, without having to prove to them, because that's what they're going to look at first, the papers. So don't think that just because we're talking about skills every now and then that you cannot also have a certificate to show that you are capable of doing certain things. That certificate goes a long way, as well as other knowledges and as well as other skills, soft skills that can help you to be as successful as possible. Somebody, final comment, and then we're going to move on. Final two, sorry. Good morning. I think without an education, some people struggle to fit in social situations and often sometimes remains marginalized. Here's another one. Congratulations. I don't think Steve Jobs or Bill Gates has a degree. 3 degrees, and I have never implemented anything from them. This person says he has 3 degrees, never implemented anything from them. Degrees are good as a reference point to start filtering out candidates. But I've seen and heard of stories where people are discriminated against because they don't have certain qualifications, although they're quite knowledgeable, and I don't think that that is right.
It is, you know, we have a policy here in St. Vincent that hopefully by 2025 you're going to have at least one graduate to each household. Think back some 40, 50 years ago. Think back to 70 years ago, adult suffrage. There weren't a lot of people having access to schools, you know?
Yeah.
What percentage of people had secondary school education? How many secondary schools were in North Leeward, in North Windward? There weren't really a lot. The Chumuka Secondary School got built. There was a time when grammar school and so was one of the only secondary schools. They had the church secondary schools and so going past secondary school, much less the opportunity to go overseas to a degree. Remember, in 1950, there was no online learning, you know. There was none of these type of things. Hadn't been even conceived yet. So I think it's doing a good for most people.
Let's take the call. Good morning. Welcome.
Yes, good morning. My name is Dave Roberts, of course, especially I have to call my name when I'm speaking to one of the brightest guys in the country.
Even after many years of knowing you?
Yes.
No, the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister gives him that credential, right? And anything the Prime Minister says in this country is like gold.
Well, let's hear what Dave Roberts got to say. Let's hear what Dave.
Suffer from what I call an inferiority complex.
Oh.
Where education is concerned. And let me ask you a question. Who is a successful politician? Who or what makes a successful politician? What are the, results of, what do you have to be
let me answer that question, Dave.
I know I am right. I just asking the question.
I know.
And I'm going off the radio.
Okay.
And listen to you as one of the brightest people or persons and all of that.
All right. Bye-bye. Different.
Let me say something.
Yes, please.
He's probably going back to when Mr. Robertson called in and gave his discourse and brought up the issue of politician. You and I were talking about everybody, not specifically politicians. And Robertson, I think, coned it down to politicians. So Dave has picked up on that. But let me say, Let me bring up an example. Arnim Eustace was considered to be highly intelligent, a rising star and a star at CDB. He basically is considered to be an excellent economist par excellence. Let me put it that way.
Yeah.
However, with respect to being a politician, he is considered to have not been a successful politician. He successful in the sense he won his seat, but in terms of from a prime ministerial point of view, could consider that because you are being compared with someone else, your predecessor, James Mitchell, or with the person who is up against you, Ralph Gonsalves, he would not be considered as being relatively successful. I'm putting it that way. And throughout the Caribbean, there would have been, and making the point for Robertson, there have been highly intelligent individuals who went politics, but because of the party they were aligned with, or because of the time and era, and so of who was up against them, they would have been considered to be unsuccessful. And after a period of time, people are asked to, well, step back, let someone else take the reins. And I think that's what happened. People may disagree with me, you know what I mean? But I think that and it would have highly successful economists and so forth. I know I'm saying that as he's maybe alien and so forth, but I don't think that he was considered to be a successful politician, made a transition from being an economist to being a politician.
The measure of success within politics is winning.
Measure success in politician, one of them ultimately is winning. Yes,
winning.
I think so. I think
I get that impression from people that if you don't win your seat, or if the party does not get into office, then you are unsuccessful in politics.
Overall, you may have had some successes along the way. You may have won some battles and some skirmishes and so forth within your own party to become a leader, to become this and become that. But the overall, if I could call it a war, the overall ultimate battle, and let's not call it, people may misinterpret that. But as I mentioned, winning the battle versus winning the war. I'm saying that overall, yes, it's considered winning is considered. So losing comes over in some respect as failure.
But you might have lost with a closer margin this time around or the next time around.
Sure. But because
you closed in the margin,
you know something,
but
coming in second in the race of two, right? Two persons running, and you come in second by a few seconds, or by if you're a couple of seconds behind Usain Bolt, Usain Bolt wins.
Yeah,
he's remembered. Yes, if you beat him, you're remembered. You've beaten Usain Bolt, and I think that goes through in many respects.
Understood.
But there's nothing wrong in trying. There's nothing wrong in doing your best. Nothing wrong in coming close.
Yeah,
I think a lot of people would do that sometimes. We are a society that would be politics to pay some with it.
Doc.
Yeah.
Boy, it seems like we can't move on to the next step. We can't move up to the next step. Hello, good morning. Is it me you're looking for? I'm not hearing anything, so we're not going to waste any time. 12 minutes on to 9 o'clock. Let's move on to something else. Now, over the weekend, not quite a number, 1 or 2 events will have happened, but we're going to focus on what happened yesterday. The positives, because I know there was a homicide on Friday. Condolences to the family. It's not a good thing at all to hear. It's not a good thing at all to happen.
Same Valley.
Queens Drive, around the same area.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to go down a little bit on the tarmac. Annisville Sporting Complex as well. So there was VPL at the Annisville Sporting Complex. Right on the other side of that, there was also kite flying. And kite flying returned after years of not happening because of COVID, post-pandemic, volcanic eruption, and I don't know if there were other issues.
Yeah.
But for those of you who were not there, I was actually the MC at that event, so I was able to observe quite a bit of things, and it was The turnout to me was more than expected.
I passed across the runway. I didn't come.
Yeah.
I said, what's a massive crowd? What's going on? And then I
Yeah.
saw
all the kites.
I said,
Yeah.
I said, Kelly's been saying that I want to bring back that kite flying. I know that.
Yeah.
And then I say, well, Kelly's been successful in that. That's one. That's good.
Yeah. The thing about it though, a friend of mine reminded me of this. A thought that I had earlier during the week. So kite flying used to be at Argyle.
Yes.
And now at Argyle is the airport.
Yes.
And now kite flying is in Arnesville, where the old airport used to be. So they basically just swapped venues.
Yes.
So the airport moved out and kite flying moved in.
I think we got
But it was a wonderful family event.
Phones are lighted up.
Oh, yeah. Let me take the call. Hello, good morning. Hello, I'm not hearing you. So I think there's an issue with your line because we were hearing all the other callers. All right.
There are different callers, different callers.
Yeah, but we can't tell who is who either way because of what, So I'm sorry, I'm going to have to end. If I don't hear anything, I'm going to assume that it's a blank call. All right. But let's try again. I think they're trying. Hello, good morning. All right. Please turn down the radio. Turn down the radio in the back, please.
Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, I did. I've done that. Good morning, Christal. How you doing?
I'm well. How are you? Welcome.
Yeah, I'm fine. Well, I was actually trying to get on to find out if I have permission to say a few things about yesterday's activity.
Sure.
But while I was trying, you beat me to it by introducing it.
Okay, well, go ahead. Nonetheless.
You turn to the good doctor and ask him if he has ever fly a kite in his life.
Yes, and if you ever fly a kite in your life.
Well, let me tell you something. I want to admit, I have never flown a kite in St. Vincent.
Oh, okay.
I want to admit that.
Okay.
But as a boy in England, and I was out in Clissold Park, in Highbury, London, sometimes Hyde Park. I used to love, kite flying. So yes, you're absolutely right. Gerald Thompson never flew a kite in St. Vincent, but I flew one in London, and I tell you, as a young man, I flew one over in France, in Europe, and so forth, as a young boy. But let's not go down that line.
Doc.
Yeah.
How they talking about races? You need to tell them how much licks I gave you while you used to be an athlete, man. Anyway, we will move on from that, all right?
No. You and I were in Miller House together. I was your captain. So you've never beaten me at any race. I ran for St. Vincent. I ran at grammar school. So why would you bring up that information and throw that out? I can't leave it.
And then move on.
Hoping that I would leave it as a minor issue.
You move on.
I mean, okay, all right. Let me not take that down.
I cannot picture Dr. Thompson running though.
Wait a second. Listen, tell him about the fourth leg specialist. What leg you used to run? You used to run first leg.
Oh, Jesus.
Third leg.
Used to bring in the button to me. Remember? Used to bring in the button to me. Come on. Listen. I was actually a formidable runner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And soccer player and so forth. All right, okay, go ahead.
All right, and I'll say also, Crystal.
Yes, sir.
I must say I was impressed with yesterday's execution of that event.
Mm-hmm.
There are some areas that we need to work on, but as time goes by, of course, you would have done a little assessment and so forth and see where you would have gone wrong and what needs to be worked on.
Mm-hmm.
All right. One of the things I was really fascinated is the amount of youngsters, the children that I started trying to fly kites, parents bringing them out.
Yeah.
And Doc, it's so important to take the children away from these devices, these tablets, and bring them out and see what the parents used to do many years ago.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
You're right. Yeah.
As you mentioned that I actually had an interaction with someone who claimed to have retired from kite flying, and he was saying that he has passed it on to his son, and his son was there and they're allowed to hold it a little bit,
I want you help bring back some. Let's bring back tops. You know what I mean?
Tops?
I think you might be a good top.
That's where you go.
Guess what? Some people may have some. Some people may have some. Some people may have some electronic tops. So you got to put the string. Just put it. Anyway, I'm joking.
I was gonna picture novels, but not so much it up. Gonna picture novels and riding scooters and cars.
Yes.
I was a boss and those things.
I know. Be the side hill man. I imagine that.
Christian, do hope that we will have that continued sponsorship.
Yeah.
You know, the venues are very, very, very very well. At least you don't have any more. There's any more that I can think of, but the venue is a very good one.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and the breeze was very good as well. Situated right close to the sea, to the coast. So you know.
Yeah.
But next time we just need to let the competition start a little earlier.
Yeah, there were some minor things. But they have made note. I can assure you that the organizers have made a lot of notes yesterday, and they will improve on that come next year, God's willing.
Okay, and one of the things I was a little bit disappointed though is that and I would have asked the organizers to carefully take a look at it. When somebody is building a kite and they want to give that kite the biggest kite, it should be the biggest flying kite, not just the biggest kite, but the biggest flying kite. You don't turn up and build a kite 20 feet and it's on the ground and it can't get up in the air. And so that you had a kite 20 feet. It should be the biggest flying kite, you know, and a lot of people spoke about it yesterday.
Oh, yeah?
You know? So that is something that you need to look at.
Okay.
All right?
All right.
Ready, Doc? Can you listen to me?
I'm listening to you. Yes.
Yeah, Doc. Doc, I had a kite down there almost 10 feet yesterday, man. You should have come and learned how to fly a kite, man. I'd have thought teach you how to fly a kite yesterday.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
All right, sir.
Thank you. So you should have won the biggest kite competition as opposed to the 20-foot one. Oh, yeah, that's a complaint. Okay, all right, I understand.
I understand what's happening now. All right.
All right, folks.
All right, thank you. Take care. But yesterday was it was quite nostalgic for those persons who would have taken part years ago, and it's a wonderful family event as well. I mean, it's all good to have family events, but people, I mean, the organizers, not for this one specifically, the organizers will have to think about unique ways to market and to get people out as much as possible. But I was pretty impressed with the turnout at the end of it, because being so far down, I didn't notice that there were so many vehicles and so many people, because I was kind of busy. But at the end of it, when I saw the crowd, I was like, wow, this is really good. And people are always eager for family type events as opposed to events that are just geared for adults and gallivanting and walking up your waist and so on. So yeah, VPL also happened on the other side.
Yes.
And it sounded like it was vibes. It sounded that way because
a lot of people were out there.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. In terms of entertainment, we really, I mean, it's better now that we have more opportunities.
Now, what it also
people are investing and so on.
Says is that Annisville is likely to become a major focal point. You're seeing the business
likely to become.
Put it this way,
or has become.
Let me put it this way: the new hospital at the top, which is supposed to be starting this year, is going to absolutely transform the area. You see, for several years, those school systems are going to continue because Thomas Saunders will have to also go out there as they are repaired. But it's the business sector, and I think that's what you're referring to, the growth of the business sector, the extension of Kingstown, a new city. But it's some of the other plans that you may not be aware of for Annisville to come later in the future. So the redoing of the terminal building, the new hospital, acute care hospital, and the sporting facilities, it's going to be a matter of what else is there to come.
Yeah.
And I think we're going to see a lot of further development that will not necessarily impact on the ability to fly kite flying and so forth. But
yeah, because that just crossed my mind.
Yeah.
Once everything is finished and developed, would there be space for like events like kite flying? Hello, good morning. Final call for this hour. You got to make it really quick. Just a minute.
Good thing is the final call.
For this hour.
This town is very where I'm living in. I know Thompson Gerald lived here for a while because it takes me back to the days when we used to have house parties, and he would have come to my family home and so on for party. He and his sister.
Oh.
But, what I am discovering now is that since ULP regime government gets into office, like Arnesville is now developing, and that's crazy. I can't help saying that.
Did you see any kites yesterday, Dave? Did you see any? Did you look outside to see the wonderful kites that were in the sky yesterday?
I didn't look out.
You should have looked out, Dave. You should have looked out the window.
You should have sent me a special message about that.
I don't have your number, but don't give it to me either.
I was not.
You see, but
I hear you say you
but there
were
was good,
actively involved with it on.
but there was good news.
The point is, I am hearing all these things about Arnesville. You know what bothers me? I have lived in Arnesville for most of my life, and I know what our forward-thinking people who came to Arnesville, who settled in Arnesville, and how they develop Arnesville. What bothers me is now that the strip is no more, and there's no more E.T. Joshua Airport. It's how they're going to transform that.
Why is that a bother? Why is that a bother?
I want to see.
Why is that a bother?
Yeah, it is a bother for me because I think they could make a mess of it, or they could.
Does it look? Are you paying attention to what is happening on the tarmac right now? Does it look like it's about to be a mess?
And not only that, when they have sports racing, car racing, and so forth, and all sorts of stuff. Listen, Dave.
What is this transform into? I'm concerned. I just hope we get it right.
Well, we're getting it sort of right so far.
Dave.
So
the building of the
right so far. That's why I said so far.
To me,
oh boy,
the building of the acute care hospital is such a right.
Hopefully
if you're right, Dave, as an individual, for health wise and health rights and so forth, it is a fundamental right. It is a right.
Well, I want that.
It is a good right. Yeah.
We have a hospital. We never. You're speaking as though we never had a hospital.
No, I am saying no.
Okay, gentlemen. It's 2 minutes after 9 o'clock. I did say we only have a minute. All right. Time out.
You get into an argument.
We're not going to go down that road this morning. Okay.
Before I get too chumpa, we call it. Before I get too lashed from your son.
Okay.
Yes.
Bank of St. Vincent and the Grenadines brings to us at this time the ECCB bank rates for today, Monday, April 17th.
Brick by brick, piece by piece, building with technology, helping wealth increase.